Hey guys, what's going on? It is David here from Genzio. We are in Bangkok, Thailand. This is the GM podcast. I am here with none other than Roger from dFusion. Roger, how are you?
I'm great. I'm great. It's been a already busy few days, but hanging in there.
Yeah?
We got a few days to go. It's been super exciting so far, and yeah, it's been great so far.
Okay. Is this your first time in Thailand?
No, I've been here a couple times. The crypto community is growing very strong. A lot of people from Southeast Asia moving to Bangkok. It's such a great place, great food, people wonderful, and you can get just about anything you want.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're chuckling. Why you?
No, because it's not wrong. You're not wrong. I've been actually utilizing on the app that I can use to ride on the scooter. Not because it's quicker, but it's more of a, it's a fun way to see the city while I'm moving around, you know?
100%.
Yeah.
And if you feel like, being in an action movie like Tom Cruise,
Right.
the bike, dodging through
Moving
traffic.
in and out of traffic.
moving in and out.
I mean, really, that's the only way we're able to get to things on time here, given the traffic,
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at least you see more of the city, as you said. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool, man, cool. Well, dFusion, I want to hear about it. Tell me about it.
So dFusion, essentially, is a huge problem happening in AI. And what is that problem? Is that AI is running out of data. Now, that sounds counterintuitive, but essentially what these LLMs are built on is public data and as much private data, which they haven't been able to get to just yet. But in terms of the public data that's available, it will essentially all have been used and scraped by 2026. And so dFusion, we are solving two problems at once. We are leveraging the community and channels to mine that private data. And then in terms of language data, which in a way is just contextual text data, or otherwise we would call it knowledge. And the byproduct of what we do is actually a consumer-facing platform that can actually be used like a decentralized Perplexity, or like think of a trustworthy ChatGPT for getting you information.
With ChatGPT being the way that it is and really, selling all of its data and that sort of thing, it is important that it is trustworthy. And
well, you don't know where the data is coming from.
You don't know where, exactly.
Right, and it hallucinates all the time. People are using this for legal. They're looking up medical advice. And if you just notice, just using ChatGPT, you get to a certain surface level and it's harder to go deeper.
Yeah, no, you're right. But I utilize it myself, right? I use it as a tool depending on some things that I'm doing, and it works fantastic. And it's so interesting how it has developed, right? I remember when it was first introduced to me, and it was just a concept, and now it is something that I could use in my everyday life. And the idea of it being decentralized is something that is something very special.
Now we're going to they call the agentic web, the agentic world, where we're not going to be interacting with the internet through browsers or anything like that. We're going to be interacting with the web, talking through an agent, essentially. And, where is this data coming from? How is it being used? How is your data being used?
Yeah.
Right? And what's the traceability of this? And to what extent are we going to trust these agents? And how can we actually have any auditing on these agents, essentially? And so it's a super exciting future for us, because if you think of what all these agents run on, it's just data.
Yeah.
AI at the end of the day is just data, basically.
Yeah, huge web.
Huge web. It's all just data. Okay,
cool. So I want to know about Roger. How did Roger get to be with dFusion? Where did this start?
Oh, yeah. So, basically we were doing crypto asset recovery investigations, and we've been involved with over $80 million worth of crypto asset recovery cases. And, once you get involved, you really wanted to democratize information. We were asking folks, hey, what do you do when you lose your Bitcoin, or what happens when you get hacked, or etc. And it's usually two syllable, one syllable words, two words, each one syllable.
Yeah.
I'm screwed, I'm effed, etc. You get the gist. In all these different cases, you really understand what the value of information is, of having it at the right time, at the right place, and the asymmetry of information. So people who are essentially crypto asset investigators, recovery guys, they're selling their services for large amounts when the work they do is actually disproportional to the actual work that they do, and it's just selling a network and intelligence if you think about it. So we created a Web3 security bot, actually, leveraging the GPT model and a few other models put together. And in building that bot, we realized, we've done this for Web3 security. We've been through the pain of getting reliable information and data to feed it and testing it, and and then as well trying to get folks to trust it, right? And we thought, okay, the only way this really works if it's open source and there's a community behind it to cross-reference and cross-check each other. But what's amazing with with the world today is that a lot of the mundane processes can be automated with AI, right? And so like that for us is the humans do provide the insight and the contribution, right? But AI can actually cross-reference everything and automate a lot of the mundane tasks, such as data labeling, filtering, validation, very easily. So that's been super exciting to see. I always say to folks that, like, hey, we're a protocol that could not have existed 2 years ago, or even 1 year ago, actually, right? We can really only exist because of AI, where it is today, and of Web3 incentives and the decentralized nature of it.
Yeah. No, totally. Like you're talking about, you couldn't have been around 2 years ago, and maybe not even 1 year ago.
Yeah.
This evolution is so rapid, and weekly there's new innovations and this sort of thing. So what do you guys do to stay on top of it?
Yeah, well, we at a lot of conferences. So we first met you guys in Dubai, and since then it's been Korea, then Singapore, now Bangkok. So KBW, token.
Hey, we're gonna hit them all.
We're gonna hit them all, right? But we also work with some of the top tier folks, not only in Web3 but also in Web2. So, for example, we're working with Stanford AI Research in getting the latest models and different innovations that are coming out of the research lab. We already, since we spoke in Singapore, Korea, we have mined a ton of data from our lovely community, and we can actually give that back to research, so that they have, if you think of like the world of data too, there's 5 tech companies that control like all the data.
Yeah.
Google, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, etc., and Nvidia and OpenAI, etc., Microsoft, and so why can these guys be the only ones to kind of train and build models, right? And so what's awesome about Web3 is, hey, again, it's about decentralizing and democratizing data and knowledge to make it available for all, so that not only someone who's being a top PhD in OpenAI can train a model. That's going to be available to all research centers.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, in a space where for someone outside of it, it might sound like a complete different language.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
How can we make this more user-friendly to someone outside that really has no general idea of what's going on?
And that's a great point. When I describe what we do, right, to an AI company or tech or research, I don't mention a blockchain. I don't mention Web3. I don't mention tokens. I pretty much say, look, if you're building an SLM, a small language model, or a fine-tune, okay, these are models that have been trained for specific tasks. How are you getting data, right? Are you going to go out and, and what typically people do is they hire troves of people in India or Bangladesh to kind of scrape and get information, etc. So do you want to go out and find data, or do you want data to come to you?
Yeah.
And essentially that's what we do. We set up a honeypot for the type of data that you want, and like a magnet, we attract it, basically. So, and that's a really powerful concept if you think about it.
No, totally. I mean, I'll tell you firsthand, right? Currently, I live in Barcelona, and whenever you go into the center of the city, there are hundreds of people there with a clipboard, and they come up to you, they approach you, they ask you questions, they want to track data. With this, this could totally eliminate all of that happening, right?
Yeah, and that's only one form of data.
That's only one form, exactly.
Yeah.
So do you guys have any big announcements coming up, or anything you'd like to share?
Yeah. So it's pretty busy the past 2 months. super exciting stuff is, so first of all, we're in the NEAR and Delphi Labs AI Accelerator program. This was only announced about 2 weeks ago. Why did we go on NEAR? Is because, frankly, of the chain abstraction, which basically means hide the blockchain away from the end user, right? The multi-chain capabilities type of thing, which not only being stuck, we can leverage a lot of chains, and so not limited to one community. And third is the founder's background. Ilya actually wrote the paper on transformers while he was at Google, and then went and started the NEAR protocol, basically. So we want to surround ourselves with experts in the AI field, but not only in the Web3 AI field, but also Web2 and traditional AI field. So that's one big announcement. Second is we have a few exciting partnerships coming up. One is we already secured a sponsor for a Potenza subnet.
Hey.
And people are like, oh, so what's the big deal about that? So to actually register subnet on Potenza, not only do you have to get the approval of the community and of the tile holders, right? But you also need over 1,000 tile, which is, if you do basic, last price, be like $600,000 to register a subnet. So so that's one big deal. Another big deal is we also very close with the folks at Vana. Vana is also a new kind of layer one which is this new archetype of guys coming up called data DAOs. So DAOs specifically focused for data, and I guess we're a data DAO focused on high quality language text data, basically. So we have great partnerships, deep partnerships with them, and we're going to be announcing some really cool stuff pretty soon.
Okay, sweet, man, sweet. So advice for anyone that's outside that wants to get involved?
Yeah, with our project on AI or...
Let's do both.
Yeah, look, with AI, people in a way always feel people feel a bit helpless.
Yeah.
They're like, well, let's wait with what OpenAI is going to do, or what Cloud's going to do, Google, Facebook, etc. But actually, you can start playing around with all these models.
Yeah.
You can, on our platform, if you go to genesis.dfusion.ai, you can start contributing your own data and research and whatever, start earning points, and which will turn into rewards later, and being contributors into this protocol, as well as using the information, as well as nominating what topics and information that the community should mine next. So there's a lot that's that's one way to involved.
Yeah.
And we will have an upcoming node distribution. So that's also another way to get involved, where you can participate in our network by running a node, contributing GPU, as well as contributing data, but also having a license to access that data, and you become a redistributor of that data, of the knowledge and information in the network. So that's something that's up and coming, and yeah.
Thank you very much. Where can we follow you guys?
Yeah, we're on Twitter or X. We're on dFusion AI. Follow us there. Whitelist yourself for the upcoming node distribution on our website, www.dfusion.ai. Excuse me, and join our Telegrams and Discords. All the links are there.
There we go. Well, Roger, pleasure, man. Thank you very much.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great to be here.
Hey, what's up?
This is
But
Zach.
it's not something Genzio is afraid of.
If you want to survive, you got to build a
How
hive.
many know we do not understand that we do not understand?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Get back at the Genzio Media House.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us today.